So I got 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Go for it.
They just told me I got 1 minute, so like, this is it. So, so basically, well, yeah, I mean, since I got 10 minutes, I'll show more. I mean, I'm just going to use 10 minutes to show you, this is basically the latest VPN technology that Cisco has. It's called FlexVPN. And really, I mean, initially they keep telling me I only have like 3 slides, and I feel bad using one of this to be like this. But seriously, I mean, what FlexVPN is really just a unified VPN solution. We are not doing anything groundbreaking here. I mean VPN is VPN. I mean, one thing we do use is we are using Ike version 2 instead of using Ike version 1. I'll talk a little bit more. But then the main thing here is really like we are trying to unify all the different VPN solutions that we have been doing over the past 10, 15 years since I was like this big, right? And put it into pretty much the same configuration construct, hopefully the same management. So I want to show you something first. Hey, it's okay. So basically, like throughout the years, we have all these different VPN solutions: EasyVPN, DMVPN, CryptoMap, site-to-site, SVTI, DVTI. I mean, you got crazy just thinking about it. And then, I mean, learning all these VPN technologies it takes probably weeks, if not months, to learn all of them. Here, I just show you like just some configuration construct. If you look at it, the black one, pretty much like 5 lines out of, I don't know, 20, right, are common. Everything else is different. So every time you need to deploy a different VPN solution, you need to learn something new. And I mean, the truth is all these different VPN solutions, they only serve one purpose. EasyVPN is great for remote access. DMVPN, people use it to connect like branches to headquarters. CryptoMap, SVTI, they just connect 2 sites together. So I mean, just trying to do different things require you to put so many different configurations on the same router. So what do we do? What do we do is, well, first we define all the configuration constructs. So I mean, like I've done like some training to like people who are very used to all this VPN technology. The very first time I show it, it's like, you're kidding me. I don't know any one line of configuration. But I mean, the truth is, this is it. This is all you need to learn. Like, well, I mean, I lie, but I mean, there's more. But, but I mean, this is pretty much it. Like, you learn this new type of configuration, but later on, like, the first time you do it, it's like, well, what is it? I don't get it, right? But I mean, after you learn it this once, and I mean, all of them can be done in like a 1-day tutorial. You will learn everything. You really need to know. Then you can deploy VPN solution, for example, for connecting hub and spoke, remote access. Remote access defined by, right now we actually support a Windows 7 native Ike v2 client, and also like any Connect client. But we are expanding. And also we can actually support legacy VPN. Well, legacy in the sense is legacy solution. You still need to use Ike version 2. And we can also support third parties. And the truth is this single configuration that I show here actually can support all of them. So you don't, the thing is like, here are like 20 lines of configuration. But like, let's say you have a hub and spoke VPN. Later on, you need to do remote access. You add 2 lines instead of another 20 lines of configuration. And this is the whole idea. Unify the VPN solution to make it neat, to make it easy to understand, and the most important, to make it easy to deploy. Well, since I got like 10 minutes.
Why now? Like, why hasn't this come out years ago? What ticked? And went, oh God, we've done something ridiculous. We've made 6,000 types of VPNs, which made our faces melt, which made licensing hurt.
Because it's complex to do that, to consolidate all of this.
But you were developing more and more different styles of VPNs. And wasn't there a point where you realised, hang on, this is silly?
So,
yeah, of course,
yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
So I think I actually get a, hopefully I get a pretty good answer to that. Yeah. So as I mentioned, I mean, actually one of the key differentiator of FlexVPN, it only works on Ike version 2. So there's no, I mean, if you know Ike version 1 and 2, there's no backward compatibility. You can't put like Ike version 1 and 2 box talking to each other, right? So the truth is, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, CryptoMap has been around for like 20 years, EasyVPN another 15, like DMVPN is like 10 years. So I think the truth is, we never find a good time to do it. We never find a good time to say, well, why don't we build a unified VPN solution? But now we are moving to Ike version 2. You have to redesign everything anyway. So this is the perfect time. Like, we junk everything. I mean, and even just migrating to FlexVPN, this is the advice that we have been giving is, you are literally moving to a different VPN solution, changing your entire architecture. It's not like boom, it just be done. But like it needs careful planning. It needs a lot of effort to actually plan this change. But the truth is, when you did it, and also it's very good for greenfield deployment, for example, right? You go to a customer, you know that, well, today this guy only need like a hub and spoke configuration, but you never know. 2 years later, someone come along and say, well, we need to support another like 1,500 remote access VPN. Well, okay, I just put on two lines of configuration. We are done. Right, this is the idea. This is the 5 minutes thing. So I mean, since I got a little more time, I want to show you one funny thing that we can do. So one thing about FlexVPN other than just unifying, well, I didn't even talk about the previous slide, but you see the checkbox, right? The whole idea is you don't have to ask questions. The only questions you have to ask is, are you trying to build a VPN? If yes, it's FlexVPN. You don't have to actually try to think, okay, this one only works for DMVPN, that thing only works on EasyVPN, etc.
Does this work with third parties? Is it based on a standard
Yes.
beyond just IP2? I mean, the constructs work with other third parties?
Yes, so I mean, like, this is, what we are doing here is completely like standard-based. So of course, like we have some like features that we can do, like for example, like on-demand spoke-to-spoke tunnels, stuff like that, that you pretty much have to use like Cisco and FlexVPN. But I mean, if you're just trying to connect a third-party vendor, say using IKE version 2 to our box, it can be done. Yeah.
Can you use the same VIP for RA and land-to-lands?
The same what?
The same VIP?
Yes.
So I can have all my remote access and my land-to-land tunnel point at the same
Yes.
system.
And as I mentioned, I mean, actually, let me show you this config again. Like,
What's just the ASA?
this is pretty much it. Like, you actually use the same construct, right? That's all. Yeah. So one thing, at least, like, since I still got what 5 minutes, right? Yeah. So one thing I want to show you is like. On top of like just a unified VPN solution, one thing we can do right now is actually, well, it's something that we have been doing in EasyVPN, but we expand it a little bit. You can actually put like different attributes on your remote branches on a radius server. So you know how painful it is for service providers to like deploy a VPN solution multi-tenant for like all these different customers. Each customer has their own domain name, IP addresses, and blah, 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 like routing, etc. So instead of configuring everything on a router and then, I don't know, one day someone call you and be like, well, I need to add this one while you're like, okay, damn it. So what you can do right now is actually put everything on a radius server. So here I just want to illustrate this idea is, so first of all, like this red router here is the remote branches. The blue one is the headquarters. So it's always going to be the remote branches initiating the connection. So I mean, the hub pretty much will be the responder. So one thing we can do is in IKE version 2, there's actually a field called the ID, the identifier of the entity. What we can do actually is part of this FlexVPN features is we can even extract information from this identity. So let's say like this identity is r1.cisco.com, but I don't want to put this entire r1.cisco.com as a record on my radius. So I can extract only the username, only the domain name, and etc. So in this case, let's say, well, we only extract r1 to be the username. We send this username to the radius server. In the radius, basically everything is put in as a Cisco AV pair, right? You can put information. Here I only illustrate like you can put information about like IP addresses, but you can also put information regarding your VRF assignment. You can put, you can actually assign a pool of addresses so that pretty much I'm only gonna assign one IP out of this pool, push domain name information, and etc. So one thing you can also do though is, previously, like if you want to have routable subnets on your remote branches, you pretty much need to run a dynamic routing protocol. What we do right now is using this IKE version 2 config exchange, we exchange route as well. We call it static IKE v2 routing. So basically here, you can see actually these two lines here pretty much means we are exchanging routes. So in this case, the hub is going to push 192.168.0.0/16 to the spoke. What it means is the spoke, whenever it needs to reach any of those subnets, it's just going to go through a tunnel. And the spoke can do the same. Of course, the spoke have to define statically. Yeah.
You support Verge? Does it support MPLS?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like right now we have some limited support and we are expanding as well. Yeah.
So when and how much, and shut up and take my money, like now. Seriously, it's
No, so
It's awesome.
well, so I mean, just like any other VPN solution on our routers, like pretty much all you need is a security license. You don't need to purchase extra, and it is already available. So I'm not bluffing here. I can get it working. So, so pretty much it's already available. The first image that got everything to work is pretty much, I don't remember the exact name, but it's pretty much last September. I think it's 15.23T1 or whatever. But we actually also officially launched it back in July in Cisco Live. So it's all the documentation, of course, we are still adding additional documentation about deployment, etc. But all the configuration, everything you need to know
There's a great
is available
presentation from
on
Cisco
Cisco.com.
Live, BreakSec 3013. The presentation from Cisco Live.
Yes, yes.
Only thing I haven't been able to find is an explanation on the difference between IKE 1 and IKE 2.
So I have what, 1 minute?
0.
Okay, I'll give you a very, very brief overview, right?
Yeah.
Like iVersion, what we do in iVersion 2 is, iVersion 1 has been around for many years. There are many different RFCs to add additional features to it. So what we do is we combine everything we learn in iVersion 1 and write iVersion 2. Some of the changes, for example, is in most of the cases, it's a lot more efficient. Most of the cases meaning in iVersion 2, you can actually use EAP, and that's what we use for remote access. But if you don't use EAP, most of the time, all you need is about 4 to 6 messages in order to build your first IPsec tunnel, first IPsec essay. So I would say this is pretty much one of the big difference. And our one is iVersion 2 actually has something that works for anti-DOS.
So, just a quick
Yes.
comment. Two things. One, bravo for putting MPLS in a traditional enterprise type product, and the other is to keep up with the management simplicity. The complexity is ridiculous in security products, and this is a good step.
Yes.
It can mean a lot more, but some abstraction.
Yeah, I didn't show it here, but we actually also have a management software that is going to use more like a workshop style to help you build a VPN, and it's going to use FlexVPN
great.
as well.
Great.
Well done.
Thank you.
Very good.